Okay, hello, new angle because I finally pulled out the reading chair and decided today was going to be a reading day because I started both Phoenix Extravagant and Middle Game as I said I was going to in my last vlog. But I started Middle Game last night and I was hooked immediately. I mean, I think it's mostly the writing, it's very fast-paced and very plain in a sense, but also like you're hooked on the mystery and the world building and the fact that you don't really understand what's going on, but for some reason that's exciting to you. I find it kind of reminiscent in concept to the Atlas 6, where you just don't understand what's going on, don't really understand like the magic system or whatever, but you're interested in the characters, you're very invested in the characters themselves. But yeah, I am really enjoying this so far, and I feel kind of bad because I'm kind of ditching my partner's TBR, but I might just binge this today because I don't really want to do anything else. Okay, we're gonna forgive and forget the angle in the face, but you guys, I'm obsessed with this book. I'm about halfway through, and like I said earlier, I really think it's like what Atlas 6 was trying to do in terms of this really weird big brain science magic thing going on, but also a very interesting look into some character studies, essentially. One phrase that keeps popping up into my head while I read this is the cost of knowing. So, you know, we've got two incredibly talented kids who are smart beyond their years in certain areas, and the toll it takes on Dodger, I think, is particularly interesting, and how it contrasts to Roger, who has a completely different set of skills, and that completely different set of skills has allowed him, not only as a guy, but as someone who is more interested in the social studies, to flourish in the social world. I think is just wildly interesting. I will read more and get back to you guys, but I wanted to make that comment because this book is so good! Another new angle, because why not? I mean, we were here for my bookshelf reorganization, but as you can see, it got reorganized again since I did that video. Anyway, so I read all of Middle Game yesterday because I have no self-control, and this is honestly one of my new favorite books of all time. Not kidding. Again, I really think that you should go into Middle Game blind, 100% not knowing anything. So I'm just gonna tell you that this is one of my new favorite books. It kept me hooked. Just there's so many things that go on, and there's not a lot that you understand, but at the same time it's morbidly fascinating. And like I talked about before, it's a really interesting exploration of these characters and the weight of the world and the lives that they are given. It's a 500+ page book, and I read it in less than 24 hours, which is kind of terrifying, but that's just a testament to how good it was. So very much recommend if you haven't picked this up already. Make the brain go brr! So after I finished Middle Game, I picked up Phoenix Extravagant again by Yoon Lee. I'm about 100 pages in, and I'm really liking it so far. Very reminiscent of Jade City and the Poppy War in that it's set in Asia, and it is definitely a twist on real life events. So this one is definitely set in Korea during a Japanese occupation, and there's even references to the West and China and everything, so pretty much everything is very much influenced by history. There's this cool sort of additional factor of automata and mechs, essentially, that just got touched on in the book. So I'm super excited to read more about this and find out exactly how the magic system works. Now, I don't quite remember what the other media I consumed with a similar magic system is, but I think the magic system in this book has to do with writing words or characters with specific inks, and that gives automata power to do specific things, to carry out specific missions, etc. So that's really cool to me. The writing so far is it's not very descriptive, so it's a little bit of a shift going from Middle Game, but it's very interesting to see the world building and see that it's not like super drawn out. It definitely feels like a well-paced book. So yeah, I'm really interested in maybe finishing this today and letting you guys know my thoughts when I finish or as I go. Oh my god, you are so cute. I think this reading vlog will be dubbed the New Angles reading vlog. Anyway, hello, it is Thursday, June 10th, and I am officially no longer a grad student. I don't want to make a big to-do of it, but just know, kids, that you should always reevaluate where you are in life, and if it's not making you happy, then you can always make a choice to leave, especially with regards to school. So I'm a huge advocate of going to school and getting that degree, but also sometimes school just isn't for you. School is not what you need to do to get to your goals, and that was the case for me here. So it was a tough decision, and I've kind of been grappling with it for the past week, hence the kind of lack of reading. But officially my first day as not a grad student anymore, and that's kind of crazy to me. But life goes on. There's still other stuff to be done. I have some really menial stuff to do today that will just make my heart very happy. The first thing I want to do, I got one of these card protectors. It's peel the sticker off, but the sticker didn't come off cleanly. I got one of these card protectors, and I'm 99% sure that my vaccination card will fit in here, so I want to do that thing that everyone's doing where they decorate their COVID-19 vaccination card. So I will be doing that today. These are pamphlet holders, but I like using them for stickers. I also have gotten like an exponential amount of notepads recently. So this is what I'm using currently to store some of my stickers, but I also got a lot of notepads recently. These are all from Kako Collective and Risky Design, which I will link down below. And now there's no space here for all of my stickers, so I'm going to kind of fix the situation. The other thing that I want to do, because obviously this is still a reading vlog and this is still a booktube channel, is I do want to finish Phoenix Extravagant. I am about 250 pages in, and at about the 150 page mark, it kind of went a little downhill for me. And I want to reiterate that I don't think this is a bad book in any way, but once again, the writing style and the storytelling style doesn't really match what I prefer, especially out of adult high fantasy. I wrote down some late night notes last night. So yeah, the first thing that I was really finding myself thinking a lot was I'm starting to very much see the merit of long books, so like 600 plus page books. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I previously have struggled with books that are more than like 500 pages, but now they're kind of like, you know, there's a purpose to the length. All of the long books that I've read this year were incredibly well done. So I'm definitely starting to see the merit to it, especially when it comes to Phoenix Extravagant, which is, I believe, only about 350 pages, maybe less. There's a lot going on. There's so much to the plot, but there's not a lot of space to get stuff done. And I know that, you know, the space was allotted after the fact that it was written, but I feel like the author could have definitely stretched out some things more and made certain things a lot more, I don't know, just fleshed out and really explored, because I feel like we're just skipping from one thing to another and not really getting a chance to explore characters' feelings or the consequences in the current political climate, etc., etc. There's also some there's a relationship in there that kind of, to me, it came out of left field. To other people, I'm sure that's not the case, but I was just kind of thrown off by that relationship. It feels completely unnecessary to me. Yeah, the horniness came way out of left field. I have a new favorite character. It's a dragon. And yeah, that's all my thoughts so far. I'm about 100 pages out from finishing it, so hopefully I'll just read it this morning after I get all of the other stuff that I want to get done. And then finally, the very, very last thing that I want to do today is to fix my art print wall, because so the other day, not only did I get a monitor riser finally, so that I'm not like hunched over anymore, but I also hooked up a second monitor to my supercomputer, and so the art print wall has kind of been messed with a little, so I do want to fix the situation. And I honestly kind of want to like refresh these ones as well, because I feel like they spend so much time in the dark, so I want to just change things up. Oh, you can still see Diego's. I will clean that, but otherwise come join me for my fun little day off. wasn't filming that entire thing, and I'm upset because I literally went through my entire notepad collection and showed you guys what I've got. But essentially I put all of my stickers in the new one because it has this backing, so stickers won't get bent. And then I put all of my notepads in this one, which is the older one that I had, because these do have backing, so they will get bent. I have this Alima notepad from Cockle Collective, but it doesn't fit in here. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out somewhere else to keep this, but yeah. Okay, so this is the view from my desk as I'm sitting at it, and I really love this new art print setup. For the most part, none of these things changed, but I did change around this a lot because I wanted to incorporate this art print, which actually came with this book. So my best friend, I'm so proud of her, worked on this book last year, and essentially it's a bunch of mini biographies of women in Singaporean history who have just really knocked it out of the park. And one of the really cool things about this book is that when you get it, it comes with like a photo card essentially, which is this little print right here. You get a print of one of the women in the book when you buy it. If you guys have any other questions about any of the other prints that I've put up, feel free to leave a comment and I will let you know where they're from. But I'm super happy. I love this corner. It sparks so much joy. So I have developed a very unhealthy obsession with this sparkling water. I don't know why. So I've been trying to not drink as much soda and not have as much sugary drinks. And this is a 0 sugar, 0 sodium, 0 pretty much anything but sparkling water. The worst part is a bottle of this stuff. This one bottle is cheaper at the grocery store down the stairs than a bottle of like regular water is, which I think is absolutely ridiculous and I hate it here. Last new angle of the vlog. I'm in front of my TBR shelf, which I haven't really shown on my channel before because it's not really exciting. First of all, my partner and I built this and we built it incorrectly because as you can see, like this part right here is on the wrong side. It's actually supposed to be on the flip side, so I think the entire bookshelf is built backwards, if that makes sense. And also it just has the books that I have to read, and there are over 50 of them, so it's kind of embarrassing to like show you guys this shelf of books that I have obtained and not read yet. So I don't often show myself in front of this bookshelf, but here it is. I will show more in a second after I've wrapped up the book that I read as well as what I plan to read next. So, as you saw in the last clips, I just finished Phoenix Extravagant by Yoon-Ha Lee. I'm going to end up giving this a big 0 in that it's going to go in the not for me column. As much as I really do appreciate many things about this book, such as the non-binary main character and the kind of like glimpse into Korean history during a Japanese occupation, as well as a touch of the West starting to come over and fuck with that area. I don't think the execution was to my taste personally. Like I said before, there's just a lot of things that I wish were more fleshed out and explored that didn't get explored. I think that this book would be really great for people who definitely like a more fast-paced, less explorative adventure story that features a rebellion and a dragon mech, but unfortunately that didn't quite tickle my pickle, so I'm just putting it in the not for me column. I'm going to put this away and move on to another book. I'm kind of completely ditching my TBR for the month, but that's okay. You're not making a big deal out of it. I don't know if I mentioned this in any earlier clips, but I made a rather large Amazon order. Finally got the monitorizer that I wanted. I ordered an overhead camera mount so that I can record those above view journal with me's, but they sent me an opened product that was returned and was missing parts. So unfortunately, I still don't have that. The third thing that I got in that box was this hunky chunky boy. It is, I believe, 800 pages. Yeah, this is an 800-page book. This is The Archon of Peace by Judy Anderson Sipunzalan, who is a Filipino author. And the author actually reached out to me on Twitter and asked me to review their debut book. So this is actually part of a huge series, and he just dropped this first book, I believe, 2 months ago. And the second book is dropping in a month or two, but he sent me an e-copy and I started reading the e-copy, but as you guys may or may not know, I kind of struggle with reading ebooks right now just because I do stare at a screen all day every day. I decided that, I was getting a package from Amazon, why not get a physical copy of Archon of Peace, and here it is. It's chunky. The cover art is really gorgeous. I think this is what is selling most people on this series, but I will let you guys know this is a self-pub indie book and I believe it's just high fantasy, so I'm hoping that I can get into this. My goal is to read 100 pages a day, which means it'll take me a little over a week to read this. This is what I plan on reading next. I'm going to put it down now because it hurts me to hold this book up. And yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end this reading vlog. I'll show you guys a little more of my TBR shelf in a second, but otherwise, thank you guys so much as always for tuning in. I know I've been like dumping reading vlogs at you, but they've been really fun for me to make recently, so I'm just gonna keep sharing the content that I'm creating with you guys, and you can take it or leave it. But thank you guys as always for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next time. So, quick TBR shelf tour. This top shelf just has all of my bookmarks, my hats, and then this is my immediate TBR that, I plan every single month. And then this is just a stack of paperbacks because I like stacking my paperbacks. They are very satisfying, as you can see, but they have no priority. And then the rest of the 3 shelves are for the rest of the books that I have not read yet that are in my possession. They are in mostly alphabetical order. I want to say that they're in alphabetical order, but I can't promise that. If you see a title on here that you are also wanting to read soon and you want a buddy read with me, please message me on any of my social media and we can arrange that. I would love to do a buddy read with you. Thank you guys again for tuning in. See you next time. Bye.